Welcome back, everybody. Our last guests for today are Victor Balog, who is the marketing director of pt2, and Nadilia Gomez, who is the executive director of Iowa Agritech Accelerator. Welcome, and thanks for making yourself available for this discussion. Our topic is going to be about the integration and the cooperation between startups and corporations. And actually, the first question is going to go to Nadilia, and because ladies first. So I know that you have worked in the corporate world for a long, and now that you are in the startup startup world. So can you just share your experience? How did this change? How did this change happen?
Yes, hello everyone. The question is a good one. My background starts off in the corporate environment, and I was part of a very large company developing innovations, producing new products and business opportunities. And so there were opportunities within the organization to try to expand on the innovation that this company has had for many, many years. It's a well-established agriculture leader, and the opportunity was there internally. After doing that for some time, I realized that that same essence of innovation could be multiplied if we could reach out more effectively to startups, and if we could engage that pipeline early on. So my engagement with the Iowa Agritech Accelerator in the last year has been that commitment towards trying to bring that collaboration to the forefront, making sure that there are startups that have the opportunity to connect with corporates in order to evaluate the validity of their business ideas.
Mm-hmm. Can you just briefly share a live example about how a corporate can integrate a startup into its day-to-day life?
Yeah, well, I sat on both sides of that question. And in doing so, I realized that the how is really the magic essence to this. If you have alignment in terms of the expectations, what does this startup offer to our ecosystem? And also the corporate is very able to engage the employees and say, yes, this is the reason why we're working with this outside company to be able to develop or accelerate this particular product lineup. I think that the chances of success are higher. In the other hand, if you misalign that clarity of intent, of purpose, then there might be a lot of difficulties. Mm-hmm. The other element that also makes a very big difference is the awareness of time. There are a lot of different steps in the decision-making process of corporates, and usually the startup entrepreneur is very nimble, and they're able to make these decisions and act very quickly. But that misalignment of pace, how fast can you move and how long can you wait, often makes that partnership a little bit difficult. So what I would emphasize whenever somebody asks me, what is the magic or how do we do this to ensure that there is a good collaboration, I would say clarity, honesty. You have to be very clear about what the expectations are internally and externally about that engagement, and then a lot of patience to make sure that the timing and the pace of development is appropriate.
Okay. Victor, do you have any experience? You come from the other end. Maybe just quickly, if you could also introduce yourself. And can you also share if you have any experience in that space?
Good afternoon for everybody. My name is Victor Balog, and I'm working from pt2. pt2 is the largest, let's say, agricultural sales group or sales organization in Hungary. So we are dealing with all the inputs and all the investment products, what is required for farming, and also financing the farming. It is always a good question from where you can have the ideas. So as a big organization as us, it is always a good question how creative you could be ever. Because we have, and everybody who is working for a long time in the same industry, they have a problem that they will have a lot of experiences. And this is the first thing which will bother and decrease your creativity. So that's why very important to have a connection to the different segments of the market or the industry, anyhow we can call it, and to gain these creative ideas, which today mainly coming from the startups. Of course, the startups has their own problems because they don't have, for example, they have lack of resources, for example. So it's somebody has to finance, somebody has to, let's say, work with them, but it is very important how to evaluate them. Mm-hmm. And this is, I think, one of our job to look after for these solutions, to look after these startups, to find the new ideas. And even if finally they are not successful, but we have the chance to evaluate these ideas and try to extend and spread into the industry. Mm-hmm. Of course, in a tailored version.
Okay. Victor, let's assume I have a great new idea. I have a startup, and I want to pitch it to a decision maker at Kita. So how would that work?
Big question if you are attending to us or we will find you before you will find us.
Let's say you didn't find me and I found you.
You find us. It wouldn't be so easy. So back question, what is your idea, of course, and regarding what? If we are talking about agriculture it is a very important or very interesting part because this is the mainly and then, of course, in a certain extent, the only industry which works directly to the nature. And you cannot accelerate the nature. Mm-hmm. So if you have an idea, you will never change today the nature itself. So what is the topic? Of course, what is a big development today, this is the precision agriculture. And the precision agriculture has opened huge possibilities for the startups and for the new ideas. You can't change the nature, but you can change how to manage the agriculture, even if it is a machine operation, even if it is a production operation, even if it is the crop management itself. Mm-hmm. And if you have a good idea or you can underline your idea, we are open to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Victor. Nadilia, I saw you smiling, so I guess you have a reaction to some of the things that Victor said.
Well, indeed, it is very difficult for a startup to come from the outside and navigate the complexity of who is who within a large corporate setting. That is very difficult. So if you are a startup attempting to reach a large company, you need to have someone that knows the internal composition of that organization enough to make sure that the connections are made at the right time. I think that partner is really helpful. That is true, Victor, that especially in the agriculture environment, the concept of technology cannot just develop in a bubble outside of the weather and the environmental conditions, as well as the cropping season routines. There are very well established annual cycles in many areas regarding the development and use of products, and the testing of that might be limited in a specific timing. So startups need to maximize their runway, understanding when is best to reach out to that company. Too early, and you might actually end up in the pile that says, don't take a look again. If you are too late, you might have solidified an idea already in your mind that is not a good fit with that company that you're trying to reach. Mm-hmm. And very often, as you come into that corporate environment, you have to make your way through having consistency of your message. That is where I believe that an accelerator comes in. An accelerator that has been collaborating with the large ag incumbents has the ability to assess, are you ready for that big pitch to the CEO? Or should we connect you first with a couple of engineers, data scientists, farmers, to make sure that you have calibrated your message before you go into that big room? So I believe that partnership with the accelerator is able to expand the ability of that startup to successfully navigate the corporate, because there is a concierge. There is someone that already has established a credibility with that corporate, that has been fine-tuning that strategic initiative that they're working on to find the right timing for those startups to connect with the right mentors within that corporate environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Victor, do you have any experience working with an accelerator?
Yes, we are working with the Noctech. It's called Noctech. Through them, right now, we are working with 2 startups right now, and we are trying to integrate them into our advisory system, what in the previous block, Mr. Chani has mentioned also. Even this advisory system also shows the markers of the startups. So it is a new activity for us, or in that form, it is a new activity for us. We are also looking how to find the new development directions and where we can, let's say, maximize our results. And of course, where we can have more ideas to develop it further, and of course, to support the complete farming sector with this advisory system.
Victor, you mentioned Noctech Lab, so that's, for those who don't know, this is an accelerator that is run by the Hungarian Chamber of Agriculture. So yes. My question is that how actively do you participate as a company in the life of this accelerator? So do you share your business problems with that, or is there any other way you participate in the day-to-day life of this accelerator?
We are trying, let's say, as Nadilia said, the accelerator has a very, very important role on this procedure, because not all the startups are ready to let's say, maybe I can use the word invade into the life of a big company. So they need a certain way of support, how to close to the big company, and what could be the expectations of a big company. They have tailored their offer. So let's say they have tailored their offer for the company they are trying to invade. Or of course, they have to know what is the real interest of the company. Mm-hmm. And when these 2 poles, positive or minus, meeting, then this magnetizing is coming through. And of course, we have to be, let's say, not in daily, but in weekly, monthly connection also with the accelerator, just to know, is there anything new, or is there any problem with the collaboration? And of course, the accelerator is not only preparing these startups, but also, I think, then train them. Okay, where is the problem? What you should do better or a different way?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Victor. Okay, we only have 2 minutes left, and I really like to ask this to all speakers today. So is there anything that you would like to share with this audience, 500 young professionals or young people aspiring to work in Agritech or already working in Agritech? Any thoughts that you would like to share with them? Nadilia?
I am biased. This is the space that I have been working in for the last 20-something years. And every time that I look at the emerging technologies and the opportunities to provide food, fiber, fuel to a growing population, I get excited about the future. In particular, the innovative talent that is thinking outside the box, that is looking and seeking for those creative solutions so that we can have a better existence in this earth, the one earth that we have. So I am really excited to encourage everyone out there that is seeking opportunities in entrepreneurship, in agriculture technology, to reach out, just like you have done now, coming to this event, and connect with the networks. Go ahead and send me a note. I'm on LinkedIn. Go look at our websites, understand what opportunities and resources are there globally, so that you can continue to make this world a much more effective, productive, and sustainable system for all of us.
Okay, thank you, Nadilia. Victor, any closing remarks?
Of course, for the next 1.5 hours, I can talk about it. I think Nadilia also could do this. If it is a personal message, maybe if I could be an eye for an eye or eye to anybody, I would say keep always learning. And every day can give something new for you. And of course, every day is bringing something new for us, for a little bit more experienced guys about it. And never mind, also always learn from the others, always learn from the experienced ones, and always learn from the nature. Mm-hmm. Because in the agriculture, the nature is giving the confirmation of your work. And don't close, open your eyes for the nature always, and they will confirm what you did.
Okay. Thank you to both of you. It was a very, very interesting conversation. And for the audience, thank you very much for your active cooperation as well and for listening. And we will all meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock again for the second day of the conference. Thank you.